24 kidnappings in Mexico City in the last 6 days.
Peter!
4 a day. What do you think about that, Gracie?
Run!
Gracie!
It's been 2 days.
This is my new bodyguard, Gracie.
What are you gonna do? What are you gonna do?
What I do best. Anyone who gets in my way, I'm gonna kill him.
The Bible says, be not overcome of evil, but overcome evil
with good. Be the sheep that got lost, Madre.
What happened to him? What happened to Creasy?
Peter Ramos.
I'm tough, Gracie.
You tough?
I'm as tough as you.
No such thing as tough. Either you're trained or you're untrained. Now, which are you?
Trained.
Which are you?
Trained.
Trained, okay.
She showed him it was all right to live again.
Do you have a girlfriend, Gracie?
No. What kind of question is that anyway? You're supposed to be studying history, okay?
That is history. Creasy history.
No, that's ancient history.
The kidnappers who took that away.
And they're gonna wish they never touched a hair on her head. A man could be an artist in anything. Creasy's art is dead. He's about to paint his masterpiece.
I don't want your money.
I want proof of life.
Bro. Take your family apart piece by piece. You understand me? Piece by piece.
He'll get more done in a weekend than 10 years of your courts. Just stay out of his way.
You say goodbye to her? Answer my question. Did you say goodbye to her? I got all the time in the world. You don't, but I do.
Forgiveness is between them and God. It's my job to arrange the meeting.
Last wish, please. Last wish. I wish you had more time.
Welcome back to Reels, Booze, and Bros. If this is your first time tuning in, I encourage you to subscribe to the show so you can hear all the fun episodes we have created and for future shows coming up. For everyone else, if you haven't done so yet, please subscribe, rate, and review us on iTunes and any all listening platforms you get your podcast at. The reason why? Because it helps us know what you like and want so we can bring better content to you. Lastly, you can check out our website at reelsboozebros.com. Once again, reelsboozebros.com. Find all our social media there, our Patreon, if you want to be a real fan, a real bro, a boozer, or a reeler, as well. Some tidbits on behind-the-scenes shows that we do, whether the beer we're drinking, get a little further in depth on that. And the recent poll we had from our last episode, yes, our recent poll I finally was able to do for the Adrian Balboa Award for the last episode, so check that out on there. And let's start off with the show. Again, I'm your host, Jay. I'm here with Brian. Again, we got Kev joining us. Kev, you're starting to become a regular on this podcast. Thank you for showing up. Our buddy Nick, who is back, but he is not here yet. He's having trouble with bedtime with the children tonight, so hopefully he can join us later in the podcast. We'll see about that. And here we go. So let's start it off. Last episode was Training Day, the Denzel Washington Trilogy we are doing. And this episode is Man on Fire. But first, we kick that off. Let's see. Brian, you brought this beer to us. Let's see what we're drinking here.
All right, so this is another one from Three Floyds. It's called Barbarian Haze IPA, and I don't know what they do, but these beers are really smooth. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah,
they are.
Of course, they're very.
It's like
very
good. It's like a 6.5%, but it just literally tastes like not water, but they're going down smooth.
Yeah, you can still taste like the hoppiness of the IPA, but it's not overwhelming at all. It's
no,
really good.
no, and I'm just like, this is a nice, like, sitting on the couch sort of beer. Just hanging out, like, yep.
Yes, definitely. Watching some football, some soccer, any other baseball starting up soon. Have this going on, and just, man, a couple of these will hit you because what was that, 6.5%?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, they go down smooth, so it'll hit you quick.
I'm actively trying to not drink it so quick.
That's a tough thing to do. So, Kev, you got anything to say about this beer? Or?
No, like I said, you can definitely taste it's an IPA. I know we mentioned a couple of beers we've had before. We said that they're kind of light tasting and they don't even really taste like IPAs. But this one, you can definitely taste the hops in the beer as you're drinking it. But again, still pretty light and smooth, even though you have that flavor to it also. So it's definitely good. And the can is very interesting also.
Yes, I do. Their artist, whoever makes up their shit, is really cool.
Yeah, the box that it came in, I'll post that up. Check it on our website. Again, reelsboozebros.com. That's the further tidbit that we have that's shown on there. How pictures are showing up there. You can actually see what we're talking about. Okay, so that's the beer. Highly recommend it. Again, from us, goes down like water. Which you'll see at the end of the show. Someone's maybe slurring on our words. All right. Now, gentlemen, Man on Fire. Let's start with a little background on the movie. So, Man on Fire is a 2004 action thriller film directed by Tony Scott from a screenplay of Brian Helgeland and based on the 1980 novel by the same name. It was written by A.J. Quinnell, which I never knew was a novel. I never knew that. I just thought this was a great screenplay. So the novel had previously been adapted into a feature film in 1987, something I also knew for the first time. I never knew once I looked this up. Okay, so in this film, Denzel Washington portrays John Creasy, a despondent alcoholic, former U.S. Marine Corps Force Reconnaissance Captain and CIA Special Activities Division officer, who's turned bodyguard, who goes on a revenge rampage after his charge, 9-year-old Lupita Ramos Dakota Fanning, is abducted in Mexico City. The supporting cast includes Christopher Walken, Rahita Mitchell, Giancarlo Giannini, Mark Anthony, Rachel Ticatone, and Mickey Rourke. Mickey Rourke looked young and not like shit, but still didn't look like the actual Mickey Rourke back in the day.
I don't know. He still looks like shoe leather.
Yes. He's been out in the sun a little bit too long.
Yeah,
it was like fresh shoe leather. Okay. So Man on Fire opened in the U.S. on April 23, 2004 to 2,180 theaters, about 3,000. Grossed in just almost $23 million with an average of $7,634 and ranking number one at the box office. The film's widest release was 2,986 theaters and ended up earning just almost $78 million in North American and $52 million internationally for a total up $130.2 million worldwide. Above its $70 million production budget. Crazy, huh? The film was successful in the U.S. home video market, grossing more than $123 million in DVD and VHS rentals in the U.S. Crazy, because that's when I saw this movie. I didn't see it in theater. I believe I saw it on DVD, and I can't remember exactly where I saw it. I thought, this fucking movie is a sleeper. It's so good.
I'm just thinking about that budget. Like $70 million. Like, I'm trying to figure out. You're paying Denzel, but I'm like, I think a lot of it you had to pay for like the rights for Mexico City and all that sort of shit.
I was going to say, how much do you think it costs to fire a rocket launcher in a busy Mexican street? That's probably a good chunk of the budget right there.
You think
probably.
so? Especially in Mexico City, where it's just like, commonplace where that happens?
Yeah, well, maybe. Well, maybe they might have them. Maybe not firing them all the time.
You got to grease the cartel's hands a little bit more than everything.
Yeah, that's really the only thing, because it's not like it's crazy special effects or anything like that. So that, like, there's no CGI anything, I don't think. You can't.
No, I don't think a CGI was really popular at this time. It was just all...
Yeah, well, it was, but I mean, for, like, sci-fi movies.
No.
It's not for, like, an action sort of movie.
Not for
anything. Outside of Denzel, I mean, you mentioned before some of the cast, like Mark Anthony's a big name, and Mickey Rourke is kind of a big name also, but a lot of the other people aren't necessarily big enough names where you'd assume that some of their salaries would take up a lot of the budget also, so... Yeah. A lot of it has to just be the rights for, I guess, shooting a lot of their scenes in Mexico.
That's what I had to think. If it's a $70 million budget, it's got to be that. But, whatever. It's interesting.
Yep. Okay. So we'll go on to the reviews, and then we'll give out our thoughts on the movie. So Rotten Tomatoes. Oh, geez. These reviews piss me off, especially the critics. Critics are cocksuckers. So Rotten Tomatoes, the tomato meter gave it a 39%. Audience score, 89%. IMDb, 7.7 out of 10. The Metacritic, which was the Metascore, 47 out of 100. Well, the user score gave it 8.7 out of 10. Again, critics don't know what the fuck they're talking about. So, you guys, what do you think your thoughts on this movie?
I'm with the with the people. I probably put this around like an 8.5. It's a solid movie. Like, Denzel's really good in it. He's a badass in it, and you don't really know exactly like how badass he is until like he has to be that way, and then you're just like, fuck, this guy's awesome. Because like, they give you hints of like what he's done, but they don't say anything, and he's just always like, he's very quiet, and he's like very calm and just like looking at the situation. But then when he's got to put into action, you're just like, fuck, he's about to do some serious shit. And he does, and it's great, and I love it. But everybody else in the movie, I think, was pretty solid. Like Dakota Fanning, like at this point, like you think this girl's gonna be like the biggest star on the planet because she's like working with everybody.
She's acting circles around that kid from Training Day.
But seriously, yeah, I mean, like that whole dynamic with their relationship was really cool. Mark Anthony, I don't know. I feel like I've never liked him. So I'm just going to leave it at that.
He's no Enrique Iglesias. That's the better Latin singer, I probably believe.
You could be the hero. But yeah, Mickey Rourke is Mickey Rourke. He just looks like a sleazeball. Like, this guy's your attorney? Like, come on.
You see him on those like J.G. Wentworth commercials.
Yeah.
Like that. He's definitely one of those guys.
But then also like Christopher Walken, like he's not in the movie a lot, but when he's in it, I'm not going to say it's powerful, but just how he like delivers his lines in only the way he can. Like, there's only one Christopher Walken, and how he does it is phenomenal. So I always love when he delivers his line. He puts like emphasis on words that you necessarily wouldn't put the emphasis on. So you're just like, okay, I like it.
For someone like him, he's never someone who has to go like he doesn't have to dial it up to 11. Like you never see him in a lot of his films, just out of his mind doing whatever. He's very subtle when he's acting, so you can basically tell that anything he's saying, especially how kind of demure he is most of the time, it's interesting to hear him speak. I'm in the same boat as you. I think it's around an 8 and 8.5. It's a good movie, and I enjoyed it. Like Jay said, I hadn't seen this when it first came out. I saw it a while later, and I've only rewatched it basically now after not having seen it for a while. It's kind of, you had mentioned before that you said it's an action thriller. It's definitely a thriller at points, but I think that kind of ties into action. I think the reason why it probably got maybe critically panned a little bit more is because the two halves of the movie are so different. Like the first half of the movie is more of a drama, basically, because it's really about just developing all the characters.
Yeah.
And it's a long time before the actual kidnapping happens. So I wonder if, from a critical view, the reason why it's almost like two movies in one that are so distinctly different, like it's very slow at the beginning. I mean, you need it there, and it's still interesting to learn about his past, about the demons that are obviously haunting him. The scene where he basically tries to kill himself.
Yeah, I agree.
But it's very distinct, and I think that might be the reason why critics probably kind of panic, because it doesn't really fit. If a critic can't necessarily like peg the genre of the movie, it kind of maybe hurts the way they think about it. So, but again, like you said, critics can be assholes, and they suck too, so we don't have to worry about what they think. Because as far as an action film is concerned, the last hour and a half is pretty strong.
Yes, yeah. The third act is amazing. It carries the movie, but rewatching this movie, I realized that. Again, I'm like, man, I saw the time frame and holy crap, it's that long. But when you get to the third act, you realize how much of a badass he is. And you need that first act, the first and second act, and how slow it is. But because it's a build-up. You actually establish a relationship between Creasy and Peter Grow. It gives the movie its momentum. You realize, wow, this guy has something to fight with. As Christopher Walken once said, he gave him a reason to live. And now this is why the final act comes in, and he can able to take shots to the fucking body and still go after these guys. He's able to do what he needs to do because PETA is his reason to live. So I don't know what the critics were thinking.
Like even like for watching this movie again, like I haven't seen it in, I want to say about 5 years. So it kind of made it seem like I was watching it again for the first time because once again, I forgot how long the movie was. And, it is broken up into like almost two separate movies, but two like distinct separations where it's like, all right, here's the first act and here's the second act. But like you said, you need both of them to get what the whole part of this movie is. And, like with everything with Denzel, like you need to see his character arc in that movie. And it was just like, I feel like his arc comes a little bit quicker because of, he bonds with her really quick. Not really quick, but, enough where it's just like, it's like his daughter.
Yeah.
So then you see that relationship.
Yeah, I would like to say, yeah, exactly. When he's at the swim meet, we have to be coaching her, and the mother, I forgot how they call it, the madre.
Yeah.
He says, like, you don't worry, you're the father now, and you realize, bam, that's where it's like, it hits you in the feels. Mm-hmm. You're like, holy shit, he's the dad. He's put all this time in, and that he's going to do whatever he can to protect his kid. As a father, I know exactly what they mean. So I guess anything else you want to throw on for reviews there? I'm sorry, not reviews. Anything else you want to throw out there for your thoughts on this movie? Now we will get into the usual, the meat and potatoes. Let's change this to the mead. I guess is that what we use to make beer?
Yes.
The mead of the Thank you, Professor.
It's a type of beer.
It's a type of
so,
that's true. It's a type like a Vikings. I would
Yeah.
prefer the meat and stuff like that. As in Thor was, I'll have another. So, okay, so we'll take a break, and hopefully by the time this is all said and done, from the triumvirate, Nick will be back. So we'll let you know. We'll find out. Stay tuned. He'll deliver more justice in a weekend than 10 years of your courts and tribunals. All right, we're back, ladies and gentlemen. Reels, Booze, and Bros. We are back. And guess what? Our prayers have been answered. Nick is back. Nick, how we doing tonight?
Hello.
I'm doing tonight. I'm ready to talk about some Man on Fire because I was just dealing with the Sun on Fire, so happy to be shifting.
Big time on fire. Hello.
All right, glad to have you back. So we're getting to the mead, as I like to call it now. I say the meat and potatoes of the podcast, but the mead, since this is have to do with booze. We had a great break. We talked about some Britney Spears, talked about some Batman films, some Marvel films while we were waiting for Nick to show up. And I don't even remember half the shit we just talked about. We just drank a lot more beer. Yeah, some history. Actually, the Rockefellers that was going on. With, and
Men Who Built America.
Men Who Built America. We realized Brian loves that. Okay.
Don't judge.
No, it was very interesting stuff. So
You know they have a food one too, right?
That's what we talked about.
Oh, we talk about that. Okay.
They have 2 episodes that I haven't seen
I
yet.
just
I'm
got
ready.
hooked on that one.
I'm ready to go.
Yeah, I'm all about the food, so I'm probably still watching that. Okay, guys. Now, let's reel it back in. Now we're here. So the next beer we just started is Beach House. It is called Free World IPA. Not bad. I'm not feeling it too much, but you know what? I never turn a beer down, so I enjoy it. So you'll see this on the rest of at our website, reelsboozebros.com. And let's get to it. Now, favorite scenes. Nick, are you ready? You want to take a quick break? You want to wait for a moment?
I'm ready to rock and roll.
Let's do this. All right, favorite scenes.
So
What you got?
can talk about some favorite scenes, and it's good that I'm starting because I'm coming to find that when we watch these serious movies, it's those beginning scenes that I really tend to favor that build the foundation of the movie than the rest of the movie. Even though the rest of the movie's great and it's all, I don't know what it is. It's just those initial scenes. So I'm glad to hit lead off on this one. So for me, the first big one was the Denzel failing the attempted suicide early on.
Okay,
that was a huge scene for me in many levels of what was going on with him at that point. Here's a man that's totally tortured by his past and wondering, where's his life going? Has he got any value in his life? And he's drunk and he's to the point of where he's just ready to give it all up, and he pulls that trigger and nothing.
Not one bit. Misfire. I'll tell you what, he's drinking some Jack Daniels. I'm a huge fan of that.
I noticed that. It was I noticed that the Jack was prominent when he was drinking.
Oh, he killed a bottle.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
I haven't done that since the Army. Challenge accepted. No, that's not going to happen. I'm kidding. Yeah. Okay, what else you got, Nick?
So for the next one for me is that first swim meet that he goes to with PETA, and she's slow to jump off the block, and he sees that, and he's like, "You're a strong swimmer, but you can't start for shit, So
I always finish third. Okay, maybe not that good.
And it's just that how it built that relationship between him and PETA. That was really the start of it. Up until that point, he couldn't stand her, didn't want to be around her, wanted her to be quiet, and he took that interest in it. It was that change in his life for him. So for me, that was a big scene. And then the last one that I have, and I try to keep them short because I know that with 4 of us here, that was probably going to be a lot for everybody.
Don't worry
combined.
about it. Go with it.
But my last one that I have is when Ramos admits to the wife about kidnapping, and then Denzel gives him that failed bullet. And, it's basically like the bullet doesn't lie.
The bullet always tells the truth.
Right. Yeah. That's what it is. The bullet always tells the truth. See that? I gotta mess up somewhere on my quotes. Okay. And thank you for catching. I got that out of the way early on. It's out of the way. Whew, got that off my chest. Thank you, Kev. But that's what I've got for my favorite scenes.
Listen, I agree with you on that one because, like, that's just such a strong moment in the movie because, like, he finds out the truth of, what just went down. And, you know, he has to confront because he knows father's in on it. And then he's like, you're praying that the mother isn't in on it? And he's like, tell me the truth. And he's got that Denzel voice, and you're just like, shit, what's he going to do? Like, is he going to just, first time seeing, like, is he just going to shoot him both up? That's what it looked like. You know, you had no idea where it was going, and she's like, tell me what? And, like, the way she says it, like, you kind of believe, like, you didn't think she knew what was going on. And then when he, like, finally, like, confesses everything, and he's just like, and he just leaves him the bullet, and he's just like.
In Denzel's defense, the only time he just started shooting was when they kidnapped her, right? In that one scene.
Yeah,
Other than that, he gave everybody the opportunity to speak.
He pulls the gun in the one car at the one point. What was going on? Oh, it's when the kids jump on the car to clean the windows and stuff.
Right.
The first thing he does is pull the gun, but he doesn't shoot it, obviously.
Right.
But he knew immediately in the actual kidnapping what was going on. That's the first time you see him actually shoot the gun.
Other than that, he gives everybody that. You got to, he could have been all hot and bothered and quick to pull that trigger.
He could have, yeah.
He was cool and calculated in every one of those scenes.
In the whole movie, like, and that's how he is. He's just calculated, and he's like, no, I need to get my information done first. You know, like, to make sure it matches with what I got. And you're just like, fuck, this guy was good. You know, like, with everything that he did. So, you know.
Okay, we got that. So Nick seems to be done. Brian, you seem to be hopping on here. What you got for your favorite scenes?
For me, with scenes like that, I want to say one of the first ones that I have is when it's like the first day that he's taking and picking her up from school, dropping Peter at school. You know, it just kind of sets up the dynamic between the two of them with, you were saying previously, like, where he doesn't want to be friends with her. He's like, no, this isn't what it is. I'm your bodyguard. I'm not here to be your best friend. I'm not here to do this. Like, no. This is it. I look out for you. That's it. And she just gets upset. But at the same time, you also notice, like, because of what we were just saying, like, with the kids coming around, like, trying to clean a car, and he's always on the look. He saw right from the beginning that same car that you find out later on is, you know, like, with them, and he's just trying to get the number down, you know, trying to get a license plate. So he's always taking a look at everything. So in that part, it also just makes me, like, want to know, like, what he did. So it was just always something like, where is his mind going? Because you never know where he's actually at right now in his whole entire thing. So the other one I have is to build off, you were saying with the swim lessons. But for me, with the swim lessons is, like, when he's actually, like, teaching her and doing all that sort of stuff. And, you know, he has a change of heart, and you could see the relationship grow right then and there with them, leading into the actual swim meet. And then
I loved when the workers were on the side of the pool cheering her on.
Yeah.
Vamos, pizza!
So that was really cool leading into the swim meet. And then when you see the, like, you know, the head nun of the school basically just going, like, you're the father now. And then basically from that point on, like, the relationship changes. Like, I mean, it already did, but you could show, like, he cares for her to another level that he never cared for somebody in probably quite some time.
Did anyone else at that point where the nun says you're the father get that, like, feeling in your stomach, like, oh, he's going to get unhinged because she said that? Like, the pressure of that is going to, like, get him to go crazy, and he's not going to be able to handle that. I had that, like, moment where I'm like, oh, shit, why did she say that to him?
I feel like it was a good moment right then and there, but the first thing that I was thinking of was more the idea that he kind of has this pride because he's been working with her all those weeks, like you said, all those training things. Like, yeah, I'm sitting here putting the time in.
Yeah.
I mean, you were saying that before, like, it's like a huge, like, I don't want to say it's a huge weight on his shoulder that he's doing that, but you can tell he's more of a father figure than the actual father.
Yeah,
who
exactly.
Then later on is like,
a doubt.
he's like, oh, she loves him. He's like, well, too bad you're fucking playing the piano. You're going to go to your piano lessons instead.
Mm-hmm.
It's like, well, I don't want to. And then she's even joined the car. She's like, well, if I break some of my fingers, I can probably still swim. But you know what? I won't be able to play the piano.
Yeah,
like,
you got to burp as I try burping.
Yeah. So with that, going into the next scene, I'll go into the kidnapping scene. With that, it's just, you know, right from the beginning. And I don't think it was like how the dogs, like, met up. Like, I don't think that was like a setup. But I mean, you could kind of see it that way. How everything is, it's the whole thing is like in slow motion, and you're just like, what the fuck? But you know, it's very important how it's done. And with that, you know, like he's right on the bat. He's like, he knows something's going down. And then that fucking car comes around again and he catches the glimpse of that guy. And he's just like, you know, just goes off. And how he literally just kills, 4, 5, 6 dudes. Like, once again, bringing it back to Training Day.
2 of the police officers. Don't forget that.
Yeah.
2 of which were police officers.
Yeah. But bringing it back to Training Day, he just walked out there like nothing. Like, okay, they're firing bullets, but it made it seem like he's invincible. I'm like, this dude's going to save everyone. Like, first time watching this, like,
he gets hit instantly, and he's just like, nope, we're still going.
Yeah. I don't care.
If you notice, it's like right at the heart.
Yeah, like literally right above it.
That was
like,
the first thing I noticed when he took that hit. I'm like, it's right at the heart.
Barely phased him.
Yeah.
And you're like,
actually, the heart is more in the center of your chest.
But either way,
close to the left.
It barely phased him.
It was in that.
It was up here. This hits your
in
lung,
that general vicinity.
Yeah, it was in that area.
It's a big
But
area.
yeah, they said either way, he had a puncture.
The man's
lung.
got a big heart, so you know.
Later
he does now.
Yeah, he had a puncture lung. Either way, he got hit. It barely phased him, and he's like, "I'm fucking taking everybody down that I can." And how he did it was pretty cool. And the same thing, like when it comes back to the swim lessons, telling her about the gun, she was always scared with the gun going off. So when he's like, "You need to run," you know, basically that she remembered that, and he's like, "Run, run, run!" But she comes back.
It's
she
a
checks
kid.
on him. Like,
As much as you get pissed off, but it's a kid. A kid,
I
you know, you
know.
gotta do it.
She loved him.
Just so you know, that's as I say, that's the love of her life at that point. So she has to come back.
She loved him. She looked at him more as a father than a dad.
If you're an adult running back, then I have a problem with that. But as a kid, I don't have a problem with that. All right, what else you got, Brian, for us?
All right. With that being said, that leads into when he's recovered, but it's not fully recovered. The first torture scene that he has, where he
the fingers, right?
Oh, fuck yeah! Like that when they don't show what he does to him before, like because he's just tied up, and then he's got it's duct tape, right?
It's
just duct tape
to the steering wheel,
and he's got the.
The cigarette lighter for the car.
When he first showed it, I'm like, is that some kind of like powder to like get the blood to coagulate? And then once he hit it, I was like,
as someone who used to smoke, I know exactly what the car cigarette lighter looks like.
The cigarette
so
lighter,
he pulls out, I'm like, I know exactly what he's talking about.
Even the switchblade that he's using is not like it's not anything that's sharp. It's just
No.
So
that's
I was
a lot.
like,
hence the duct tape and a lot of force.
Yeah. I mean, it took him a while to get through.
Yeah, I was gonna say when I'm watching him, it's like, oh, he's got the knife, he's gonna cut the fingers off, and you can see it's taking him a while. He's like, Ryan's like, oh, it's not one of those like weird movie things.
But he
like one random swipe, and it's like, oh no, he's got to put some elbow grease.
But
in that.
They're letting you know this is hurting that guy.
But he does warn him. He's like, if you don't answer, this is gonna hurt a lot more than you wanted to hurt. So
there's always that option.
So that part, like, you just shows you, like, man, this guy has seen some shit. Done some shit. And but like to get to that point, like he has been in some shit. And when then all of a sudden, like you were saying, Nick, with using the cigarette lighter on him, it's like, oh fuck. Like that is crazy. And then,
genius. Crazy genius.
But yes, obviously it's not his first go around. but also when he's right before he's about to kill him, he's the guy asks for the cigarette, and he's like, okay, no problem. It fucking lights it for him.
Yeah, he's a man of the people.
Should have lit up with the cigarette lighter from the car too.
I tell you, I thought
rub it in a little bit more.
I thought for some reason he was gonna turn the car on fire. I was like, I'm like, this is when the car burns up. Oh shit, it doesn't. But you know what? It goes over the fucking cliff.
That was even better.
Which, by the way, there's kids playing down there. Come on, Denzel, what are you doing?
So that part was really good. I was just like, he took it to another level on that. I thought you mentioned it before with confronting the parents about the whole same thing. You know, that scene, how powerful it was, and I just want to continue into that scene. Like, I'm not gonna lie, I fucking hate Mark Anthony. I can't stand him. He just looks like a fucking weasel this whole movie. Like, he is a fucking weasel. Like, this guy's a fucking rat. He's gonna do anything he can, and it's just like every character that he plays, it's the same way. Same thing in fucking what is it? We talked about the movie last week.
Training Day?
No, not Training Day,
Wow.
but Gangster's Paradise, because he's in that. It's just like he's a fucking loser there too.
I don't think I saw that.
Michelle Pfeiffer. We've never seen Gangster's Paradise.
With the way Gangster's Paradise.
Dangerous Minds.
I thought you said
the music video.
The music video.
Gangster. Okay.
Okay, so Dangerous Minds. Gotcha.
All right, either way, he sucks then too. So
I don't remember him in that.
He was like the head gangster.
Yeah.
Mark Anthony.
Yes. Yeah, picture that. Mark Anthony, the head gangster. Yeah, he sucks. Okay? So let's just get that out of the way.
Yeah, I wasn't a fan of him.
He's a better actor than Dr. Dre. But anyway.
I'll give you that. But
I will as well.
I will fully give you that, but you could just tell he's a fucking weasel and he was looking for any sort of way. And fuck that guy. With that, I will also say when they're making the final deal, when he's on the phone with the voice, I love that whole exchange because then he has, I guess, I'm very confused if that's the voice's side chick or his actual wife because he doesn't live there. It doesn't look like he lives there. And he just, because he has two other kids.
That was the brother's chick.
No. He said that was his. No, it's the voices. They say. Remember, he said because we're separated, getting a divorce.
Yeah,
but he's still about the family.
But he has other kids.
Yes,
somewhere else. So
well,
of course.
I mean, you think a man like that's gonna let the woman walk away with the kids?
He needs to be free, but he's all about kids now. In his family,
yeah, he ain't gonna. A man with power like that, having the kids is about power. He ain't gonna let her take her. When she pops out that one next month, he's taking that one too.
I look. Okay, I get it. At the same time, I love when they're talking to him and he's like, "I want to put your brother on the phone," and then when he does, he just fucking blows his fucking hand off.
Double barrel shotgun blast to the fucking hand,
and he just hears him yelling it, and he's just like, "Oh shit, this guy is somebody not to fuck with," And I just like that whole exchange and how it goes down. And when he finds out that she's still alive, and he's just like, "Tell me, what's the bear's name?" And then he doesn't want to believe that she's still alive because I think at that moment in his heart, it feels better if she's dead because he wants to avenge everything and just kill the head of the snake. You know what I'm saying? So like when he finds out that she's still alive, like he wants to do anything he can to get her back.
Do you think it was that or that he had already been fooled in that earlier scene at the club where the girl says, "You want the girl," the lady said, "You want the girl," and there was a moment where he thought that you think maybe he didn't want to like fool me once, shame on you, you know what I'm saying?
It's got to be the reason he asked that follow-up question.
Yeah. I could agree with it.
The proof of life.
Yes.
Right.
So I guess, that's kind of tough. But I could see why, like, it's same thing like when I'm saying.
I mean, I'm not disagreeing with the vengeance thing. I think
agree. On his
he's definitely a guy that wants to see things through.
Yeah, I think
he's not. I don't think he's going to go half-assed into anything he does. But
agreed. Like, I think just in his mindset at that time frame, like he thinks she's dead. I'm going for everybody and stomping on their fucking heads, and that just makes it easier for him to get it over with. You know what I'm saying?
It brought him back to reality when she said "Creasy Bear." He's like, "Holy shit!
She's alive.
Let me back off." And now it's my priority is now instead of
save her life,
killing every motherfucker is exactly I'm gonna save her life. I have to do what it is to save her because she is my life now.
Yeah.
Okay, got it.
And he wanted to get her back to the mom.
Yep. Anything else?
The reunion, basically the last scene. Where it's like when he gets to see her and she runs to him.
What a fucking tear-jerking scene. Honestly, I'm not gonna lie. I fucking cried. As a father, getting a daughter, I saw that.
Especially right afterwards when he walks away. He's like, I gotta go.
Yep.
Oh, yeah, I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, God damn it.
Yeah, the reunion, and then she's like, admit that you love me. Yeah. And then he's like, I do.
Yeah.
And it's, it gets you.
It does. It does. You have a soul. You have a heart. It gets you.
You know what got me even more was the scene after where they're driving and it's showing like the mountaintop and it's like supposedly like, just to like signify him like reaching the mountaintop and getting his redemption and now he can he did some good in his life where he thought before he did all the bad. That was a scene that really got to me too.
Yeah.
You know, it might have been I was soft from the scene before, but yeah.
They haven't leading into that.
I agree. It was actually his redemption arc. All the bad shit he did in his life, he's like, as he said earlier, guys like us are going to go to heaven, now we're going to fucking hell. And he realized, like, you know what? I've done this good. I want this girl who saved me, and I'm going to save her, give her a life. So, all right, Brian, seems like you seem to be done, correct?
Yeah,
So, Kev, I'm going to throw it over to you. What you got?
I mean, I had a lot of what they had also, but I do have 2 different scenes that I'll put in also. The one that I'm actually surprised, we were talking about the introduction to the movie. There's the opening kidnapping scene just at the very start, just to explain the whole situation.
Yeah.
And it plays into, I'm combining the 2 scenes together a little bit. It's that scene along with the ransom scene where they actually go to give the money to the Voice or to the Guardians, whatever it is afterwards. They're both basically very similar. They show driving around, taking the shirt off and waving it out of the car. And then, go to this car, drop the money off. They're both, they stand out because the way that both those scenes are shot are like really weird and like disorienting compared to everything else. Like there's all these different jump cuts from one thing to the other. It's kind of like almost like weird news footage where you can see it's like fading in and out from one to the next.
Yes.
Where it's going through.
The cinematography was very good. All I noticed was that Mark Anthony weighs 110 soaking wet.
Oh, he's
where there was a fucking slob in the first
one,
scene who weighs probably 220 and then some. My big toe. Anyway.
So that was one scene that I thought was interesting. And then I'm probably a bad person, but the torture scenes are really good in this movie. So the finger scene is really good, but I'm surprised you didn't go with the C4 up the ass guy scene also. And everything before that also. That's the scene we talked about.
If the C4 had been up the ass, I think I would have gone with that. But when you watch the explosion, it comes from the car.
Yeah, it's kind of strange. Yeah.
So I was like, not as good.
The only thing I can think about that is that he may have had both, like C4 and both.
Still, the whole thing,
to create
that whole scene where he's like interrogating the guy and he first tells him and he's explaining everything step by step. He's like, you know what this is? This goes up inmates' asses when they're trying to smuggle drugs into prison. You know what this is? This is a pen. I actually have the whole quote, but I'm waiting for best quotes later.
You have 5 minutes to explain this. Go ahead.
He's like, we have this.
I wish you had more time.
Is used for a trigger.
4
this
minutes.
is C4. It's very explosive. He's like, and then he looks at him.
3 minutes, 9 seconds.
He's like, that's up your ass right now. And the guy says, he's like, no, don't move. Whatever you do, don't move.
Don't move.
I got plenty of time, but not you.
But yeah, that scene, like those scenes, because Brian already mentioned the scene with the guy with the hand tied to the steering wheel and cutting the fingers off. That's the first time you see it. It's like, oh, he's about that life. They say, like they mentioned before, he's an assassin basically. He worked in the Middle East and Lebanon and Israel and all those other places.
Alonzo
where
don't
he's doing
fuck around.
everything. Yeah. And that's the first time you really
he had
see
a lot
how
of guilt from what he did, and then you're like, I get it.
Yeah, so that scene with the fingers, that's the first time you see how fucked up he can be, and then you see it taken to basically the next logical extreme with putting C4 up, allegedly, according to Nick, putting C4 up the guy's ass.
I'm just saying. Just saying.
It was off scene, so we didn't see any penetration.
I mean, we skipped over it, and I didn't include it in my favorite scenes only because it took place in that club, and there's the fucking strobe lights going the whole time, and I can't tell what's going on. But that torture scene where he's getting the information with the debit card out of that guy too. Like, all those scenes are good. That one I didn't include just because I'm watching it the whole time. I'm like, I'm going to have a seizure.
Simple. Because, like, he shoots the guy in his, I want to say, again, the double-barrel shotgun. He shoots them both in his feet, I want to say.
Yeah.
That's the best way I can explain that scene.
I don't think he actually... Did he shoot him in the feet?
No, one of them, at least one of the shots when he's talking to him, you can definitely see the guy winces. Like,
yes, one of the two, 1 foot, probably the left one.
Because I'm going to tell you right now, if somebody shoots me in the foot, I'm going to be crying like a little baby.
Yeah.
I'm not going to wince. I'm going to be crying like a baby.
That guy may have been fucking on some liquid MDM. All that we know.
Touche.
All right, Kev, you think you're good?
That's all I had. I had the ending scene on the bridge and other things like that. So that's what I had to add.
I have pretty much everything. The only thing I'm gonna throw in there that's different is in the beginning is when Creasy and Rayburn are at Rayburn's house. Creasy's all fucking fucked up on his, and he's up in life trying to look. He's looking for his friend for some sort of like guidance of what's going on. You know, he came down from the States to Mexico, just over there all unshaven, all messed up and everything, and they're just looking for direction and help. And the next one again. Another powerful scene is between him and Rayburn is after he tries to commit suicide, and he calls in the middle of the night. It's like 3 o'clock in the morning, and he goes, "What's going on?" And like there's that famous line where it's like, "A bullet always tells the truth." So 2 powerful scenes in my opinion.
I was up watching TV.
Yeah.
At 3 in the morning. Yeah.
3 in the morning. I don't know what the fuck he's watching, but Okay, we got that. So let's move on. So let's go to our favorite quotes. Nick, I'll throw it back to you. Favorite quotes, what you got?
So, my first one actually goes to that original scene you were talking about with Rayburn
and Creasy.
Right, Rayburn and Creasy. When Creasy says to him, Christopher, which I don't know, I wasn't here in the beginning. Like any movie with Christopher Walken, I love it. Like
we talked about him a little bit.
I'm sorry to come in late to the party, but I have to throw that in. I feel like everyone needs a little more something. I need more Christopher Walken. He needs more cowbell. Whatever, whatever.
Yes, I expect that. Put my pants on at the same time, but
so
I have this hunk of metal up my ass.
Sorry to bring us on that tangent, but I had to talk about him for a second. But when Creasy says to him, "Do you think God will forgive us for what we've done?" And you can see the way he's drinking already, and you're like, wow. Like for us to hear early on that this guy is already looking for forgiveness for previous things he's done. This guy's got to be pretty fucked up for what he's done. You know what I'm saying? Mm-hmm. Not that he's a fucked up person or whatever, but that what his experiences in life to that point had to be really fucked up. So that one really hit home for me. And then the next person who I don't know if you guys talked about, but Mickey Rourke. And then the first thing I thought of,
right. So
this is like, I'm like, what the fuck happened to his face? Like this was like 2000s. Like how did in 5 years? Because I feel like once he got into what were the like horror, not the horror movies, but like those
Sin City?
Yeah, once he got into Sin City, his face was all fucked up.
His
and
face
that's
is pretty fucked up in The Wrestler, which is like 3 or 4 years after this.
Yeah, The Wrestler too, right, exactly. I thought The Wrestler was even later than that, but yeah, exactly. Like what the fuck, in that short amount of time, he was actually, I'm like, he's actually still pretty good looking in the early 2000s.
I said like this one, I'm like, Mickey Rourke looks actually okay.
Yeah.
I'm sure, but my whole thing is about the whole Mickey Rourke thing. Like, you could have told me he was 36 at the time, but he's probably 56.
Right. Yeah.
Because of the leather on the face. You're just like, okay. Yeah. Hey, he was, like you said, he was big. Good-looking dude.
Yeah, I'm like, what, in a short amount of time, what happened?
I think Mickey Rourke listens to the podcast. He's going to be very upset when he hears this.
I think Mickey Rourke knows what everyone thinks about his fucking coffee cake face, all right? All right, so anyways, my quote was from Mickey Rourke early on that dinner scene where he's like talking to Mark Anthony and he's trying to get him to get a security guard, and he's like, "We're not looking for Superman, right?" Like that one just had me chuckling. I'm like, oh, little do you know.
And it makes sense, like, think about later on, like, because they know they have the whole thing set up. We don't want a guy who knows what he's doing here. We want this to be an easy job for us. You don't understand
at that time. You think he's just trying to say, like, be cheap, get this guy for the insurance, and then don't fucking worry about it. Exactly. Right. That's not that there's that whole grand scheme master plan. So, after that, I got when Creasy and Peter are talking about the king with 1,000 concubines, and Creasy says to her, "Do you feel bad for him about having all those concubines?" And then she's like, "Yeah, I can't imagine having 1,000 mommies." I was like, "Oh, that's great." And then after that, the last one that I've got is when Creasy is in that corner apartment with the missile launcher, and the husband says to him about forgiveness.
Oh, I love this one.
He says, "Forgiveness is between them and God. It is my job to arrange the meeting." Like
love that.
And it's on multiple levels, because that's also how Creasy rationalizes what he's doing. Like that, like it goes back to like thinking about like all the things that he's done before. Like that's probably how he rationalized it.
Yeah,
you know,
I agree on that.
That's called an RPG. Let's throw it out there.
Sorry, RPG.
But yeah, no, I completely agree with that, and I love that, and just how his deliverance, like, of it, it was just the old man just turns around and looks at him like, well, I wasn't expecting that.
He
stumped him on that one. He's like, I got nothing.
Very matter of fact, and that's it. So Nick,
like,
what else you got?
Those were my quotes. That's all I've got.
Okay. All right, Brian, what you got for us?
Nick just said one of them right there. With that being said, this is one from Christopher Walken. A man can be an artist in anything, food, whatever. It depends on how good he is at it. Creasy's art is death. He's about to paint his masterpiece. And it's like...
Motherfucking Picasso.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's so
Sistine
true, though.
Chapel.
Like, you just, like... And obviously,
shit.
Obviously, like, he knows what he's done. And for him to say that, like, you know he's going fucking hell or high water, just fucking killing everybody. So... I love that one.
You know what that quote and an earlier scene, the first scene, made me think of? I noticed in those two scenes the amount of fingers that were licked, and I was just like, and this is a COVID thing because I'm like, it's strictly a COVID thing because I'm like, imagine doing something now with somebody and
there's obviously a cholera outbreak. That's how they get in.
I'm like, man, that shit would never fly in 2020.
So
motherfucker, get in the bathroom and wash those hands.
So what were they eating actually? That because the guy then
It wasn't
Rayburn,
wings, but it was
It didn't matter what they were
I'm
eating.
trying to remember.
They were always
are they like a
licking their
hospital or
fingers.
something like that?
No,
Where are they?
no, they're
at
it
the,
It looks like a hospital.
Yeah,
but it's not.
that's the one reason. That's what I thought.
No, it was the Italian guy's
it was his workplace.
His workplace.
It's not.
I just know they're out in the hallway somewhere.
It was like the main lobby.
Yeah. And he's eating, and he's like licking his stuff, and then he puts his food down, and Rayburn's like, "I'm gonna touch that. I'm gonna lick." Like, what the? What's so good? Is it Cinnabon? What the fuck's going on there? I don't know.
And it was only because that was the second scene that I saw them.
I'm so happy, like you brought that up because I realized, like, why is he eating his food and licking his fingers? What the fuck is going on? It was so gross.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, all right, Brian. Go on.
No, it's okay because it's just funny. So, with that being said, one of the next ones I have is when he comes back, Creasy, and he's talking to the mother, and she's like, "What are you gonna do?" He's like, "What I do best. I'm gonna kill him. Anyone that was involved, anybody who profited from it, anybody who opens their eyes at me."
I love the mother's follow-up. Kill them all.
Yeah, yeah. And just like how it was done, that whole, like, that quick minute that it was, and his delivery on that, you're just like, oh, he's gonna do it. You know? And he does. So that was great. With we said it before, he'll deliver more justice in a weekend than 10 years of your courts and tribunals. There's another one. Revenge is a meal best served cold. I like that because then they always show him jumping in the pool, even though he's trying to, like, after he has a big killing spree, he jumps in the pool, you know, trying to recover his wounds.
There's something healing about the pool.
Yeah.
Chlorine.
Like, yeah.
God, that must hurt.
Oh, God. I can't even imagine the pain. You know, the other one we said, you know what they say, a bullet always tells the truth. So I thought that was another classic one. When he's talking to one of the guys he's torturing, okay, my friend, it's off to the next life for you. I guarantee you, you won't be lonely.
That was the fingers
It's
guy.
the first guy.
The first guy.
I was just like,
Fingers.
he's just like, oh, fucking got him.
Yeah.
And then lights a cigarette for him.
Yeah. Yep.
I like when he's this is like when he's training her, when he's training PETA, he's like, the gunshot holds no fear. You welcome the sound. In fact, it's a sound that sets you free. You are a prisoner on this block until the sound sets you free. So, like, you didn't realize it was like a little foreshadowing of like what was happening at the same time, because when he, you know, the gunshots start going when she's getting kidnapped, it's just go, go, go. You know, she does.
But
run.
it's not until he fires the gun that
she
figures
runs.
that she has to go. Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, but either way, I did like that whole spot, that whole part right there. I got all. Another one was, I got all the time in the world. You don't, but I do. Like, just fucking love it.
That's very nice.
And then there's trained and untrained. Now, which one are you? When he's talking to her, teaching her, you know, about the discipline and all that sort of stuff, and the swimming and everything like that. So I thought those were the quotes that I love.
Okay, very nice, very nice. Good job there, Brian. Kev, what you got for us?
So yeah, a lot of what has already been said were things that I had basically written down. But I do have some small things here and there. So just when he's first talking to the mother about the Bible, where he says, "Do you read the Bible?" "Yeah, sometimes." "Does it help?" "Yeah, sometimes." So it's just like, it's kind of an interesting look into like the Creasy character, because it's not something you would think about this kind of like hardened veteran for the most part. But apparently religion is important to him.
Right.
And it plays into a lot of the film with her giving him the St. Jude necklace also and things like that too. So
speaking with the nun.
Yeah, that's true too. Yeah.
He's not only able to quote the verse, but he's able to actually tell you which verse it was too.
In Spanish, nonetheless.
By the way, the shout we're going to get into best character eventually, but he's behind the scenes. But shout out to the guy who did the subtitles for the film, because I would have no idea what's going on otherwise.
Was he a character?
No, it's just whoever was typing it up for it, basically. So
thank you, teleprompter. I am Ron Burgundy.
So when he's actually going into eventually interrogate and then terrorize the head of the police that he's going after, when the one person says he's better protected than the president of Mexico, he just says, yeah, he's going to need it.
Yeah.
So, and then we had mentioned it before, this whole idea about how her existence and their relationship together was basically what pulled him out of whatever, mess he was out of before. Her life basically gave him life as well. There's the one thing where they say it's like she showed him it was all right to live again. The kidnappers took that away, and they're going to wish they never touched the hair on her head. So that's where you really start to learn that whole thing about whatever you think about Creasy's character beforehand. Like, we see all the demons and everything beforehand, and some of the flashbacks, they're very quick. We don't really know what's going on, but you know that he's pulled out of it because of her. And that's where you know it's like, oh, this is the reason why you're all in a lot of shit right now, basically. Yep. Let me do this one first. So there's one thing, it's weird because it's, I think, one of the more significant quotes of the film. It's actually the kidnapper, the voice that says it when he's on the phone with him, and they're talking about what Creasy's going to end up doing with the brother, with the ex-girlfriend, whatever. I don't know if they were married or whatever it was, but the ex, whatever it is. He's the one that says the most important thing in life is family. And it's weird that's coming from the kidnapper, is the one that says it. And it's just it's obviously a relatable quote. I'm sure all of us feel the same way, that family is the most important thing. And then just to go out, I'll read the entire quote now because I kind of glossed over it before. It's not my favorite quote from the movie, but it's up there. So let me show you what I got here. See this? This is a charger used by convicts to hide money and drugs. They stick it in their body. They tuck it up their rectum. You familiar with that? This, pencil detonator, timer, used as a receiver or transmitter. C4, highly explosive. You put them all together, you got a bomb. Not very sophisticated, but very powerful. That's what you have in your ass right now. As the guy starts squirming.
Jesus Christ.
And then as the guy starts squirming, no, don't move. Don't move.
Don't move.
So, I mean, like I said, a lot of what I had already was, they mentioned it also. There's a lot of like really interesting quotes throughout the film.
Yeah, there are. Exactly. I would find most of the quotes between are like Rayberg or Creasy. And I want to like harp back on the other one was with PETA on the bridge at the end scene. As I love you, Creasy, and you love me too, don't you? That got me the most. All right, that's what I got for quotes. With everything else, the bullet always tells the truth, stuff like that. So let's go on to the awards. Best quote. I'm gonna nominate, after listening to all this, I think A Bullet Always Tells the Truth by Rayburn, of what he says. But you guys want to nominate something else? Go right ahead. Let's go. Nick, what do you think? Your nomination for best quote in this movie?
I'm going to go with the forgiveness is between them and God. It's my job to arrange the meeting. That was
very good. I like that one.
Yep.
That's like one of the top ones there as well. Anyone else want to agree with that? Anyone else want to throw something out? What do you think, Brian?
I'm going to agree with Nick. I think the bullet quote is fantastic, but just the way how Denzel says it, and with everything how he is in the movie, I just feel like that fits the movie a little bit better than what the bullet telling the truth.
Yeah. Okay, sounds good. Kev, what do you think? Same thing? You want to agree? You want to throw something else out there?
The two that I had for the overall best quote were either, like Nick just said, the bullet always tells the truth. But again, thinking about that quote towards the end, like I said, it's weird that it's the kidnapper is the one that says it, but the most important thing is family. It's how this all basically sets up. The reason why Denzel feels so attached to Pete is because she basically becomes family to him.
Right.
Mm-hmm.
So there's no actual blood relation between them, but it's how it drives the entire relationship between them. So if we're thinking about if we're thinking about quotes that are important to the movie itself, I would say either the bullet always tells the truth, because you can also say all those people that Denzel kills interrogates, does whatever along the way, you know that what he does is justified because all these people are involved one way or another.
Not only her,
and
but
then there's that. There's also the idea about how important family is.
Before you go on, I want to say I said a bullet always tells the truth. Nick said.
Yeah, correct.
So
you messed up. Ha ha. It wasn't me. Ha ha.
So we may be in agreement, but I do also agree. I want to say it's probably kind of both with 50-50 because family is always the best. Anyone want to recant, want to go in there? But you know what? I do like the fact that what Nick and Brian have agreed on. So I can sway that way because you know what? Denzel's, in my opinion, he's the main star of this movie. Everything is around him. And him saying that powerful line, it basically justifies the entire movie of what he's doing.
It's the rationalization.
Yeah, I think it's just, it comes to the point of like him justifying everything. And he's just like, I'm going to do whatever I have to do to make these people meet their maker because they done fucked up.
Yeah, it kind of reminds me of like being Alonzo. Very similar on the lines of Alonzo because like these guys, like when he kills what's his face, God, I forgot his name.
Roger.
Now. Roger. Thank you, Kev. Roger in Training Day. That like this guy, Roger was bad. He sold dope to fucking kids, and you know what? His number was up. So fucking God's gonna solve that. I just helped him meet the meeting. And that, so you know what? Fuck it, I'm on board. I'm going with that. I'm sold. I'm easy. I'm a fucking turncoat. Okay, so I think we got that. So now let's go with best scene. Anyone want to throw something out there? Brian, I'll go to you first. Best scene. What you think?
Man, that's tough.
It's tough. Okay, you know what? You want to take a moment?
I'm gonna take it. I'm gonna take it from you. Go ahead. I'm gonna steal it from you. As a father, for me, the Ramos admitting to what he did with his daughter. That's the best scene on multiple levels for me. The father part of it is what really hits home. The father, I got a daughter. To me to do that, what a piece of shit. And to have to admit that to his wife and Denzel, the way he came in and he was like you said, you thought that was going to be that moment. He didn't give them the chance to speak because motherfucker, you did this to your daughter, right?
Exactly.
And without really much regret at all. He's just like, hey, I was in a lot of debt. My father fucked me over, so hey, we just sold the daughter out.
He
whatever.
Totally had a justification for that. Yeah,
like without even caring that he set the whole thing up.
Yep. And then the whole bullet doesn't lie bit, like to pull that into the scene, just on all that was a big scene for me. So I've got to put that as the best scene.
All right. So right now for me, it's tough because I'm torn between the two. It's the first torture scene because it just shows you the lengths of what he's willing to do. And it just be like, this guy does not give a fuck. I am getting my answers, and everyone will know what I just did because it's going to get on whatever TV, the news, whatever.
Telenueva.
Yeah. And you're all fucked because I ain't stopping at nobody. So that one, but I mean, at the end, the reunion, when you get that resolve of when he gets her, and he hugs her. Like we said, like if you're not like teary-eyed in that whole thing, it's just like you're not.
I'm about to be teary-eyed right now. Forget watching it.
But it's
a matter of beer. I'm teary-eyed.
It's just the way it is. And then when she's like, "'Cause you love me," and he's like, "Yeah, I do."
Yeah.
And you're just like, "Fuck." Now you know he's going to die because he knows he's not worth like living anymore because he wanted, he saved her life. It gets you. I'm sorry. That's usually just the way it is for me. So it's between those two. But if I have to guess, I'm gonna.
Nick is now holding Brian's hands. Emotional moment here on Reels, Booze, and Bros. It's fantastic. We've all come together.
I'm gonna go with the reunion.
Okay. Did everyone have some hand sanitizer after that? We're good. All right, the reunion scene. I like that. And Kev, what you got for us?
So I need to hold Nick's hand also while I give my answer. Also, it's a very emotional scene.
I'm here. Consider me your emotional pony.
I'm going with the same thing Brian said, but the first thing he said, the best scene in the movie is the torture scene. The first one with the fingers. I'm sorry.
Yeah.
So, and the reason why it's like when you're watching this film, I did say there's kind of like a shift where like the first like hour or so is more of a drama, or at least more like you're seeing the relationship between Denzel and everyone else in the movie. It's really not until he has that crooked cop tied to the steering wheel where you're like, oh, this this is going a different direction now.
Yeah,
all of a
exactly.
sudden.
Like, you didn't know what he was
It's
capable
like, that's where the movie, it's still good at first, and then it just dials it up a notch where you're like, oh, this is going to be very interesting. Oh, he's cutting his fingers off. Oh,
Right. His demons were speculating up into that.
Oh, so that's how you actually stop the bleeding, by burning the cigarette lighter into the finger. So
You remember Rambo?
The other scenes that you guys mentioned are really good also, but for me, that scene is the one where when it's going on, it's like, oh, this movie is picking it up a notch all of a sudden.
It takes it
more than a notch.
And then you want to see, and I mean, that's only the first guy he's talking to. Other stuff is coming, like C4 in the ass.
Right. Where does it go from here? I don't know.
So,
exactly.
And the one thing is, I almost wish there was a worse end for the actual voice. Like, he just gets shot by the cop at the end.
That's a little disappointing. Like,
but you get that sense that all of these people that are involved are all going to meet terrible ends because Denzel shows you he's about that life in that one scene. So that's my favorite scene in the movie, at least. So.
Okay, I have to agree with both Brian and Kev. The torture scene is fantastic. You realize, holy shit, this is when the movie went from a 5 to a 6 to like that 8, almost 9, and that's why I'm like, holy shit, this is my sleeper movie. This shit just got real. He's doing whatever he can, but when he meets PETA, as a father myself with the little girls, it fucking got me. Hands down, that's probably my favorite scene. So I guess we're going to go with that best scene where he meets PETA on the bridge. And let's all just hold hands for a brief moment. And
might as well take a break. We can sing Kumbaya.
We're going to power through this, through our emotions, our tears. Men do have feelings, ladies and gentlemen out there. It's okay. We can. All right, so now let's pick it up. Let's go best character, the Randy Watson Award. I'm going to throw out, as much as this is a Denzel movie, I think Christopher Walken is so pivotal in this movie when the way how he delivers his lines and offers those pivotal like scenes when he says about the bullet always tells the truth. He brings his friend. Without him, he says, listen, you could try being a bodyguard in the beginning of the movie. And then he's like, I'm not going to kill anymore, but I'll support you in whatever way I can. I don't
want to kill.
Yeah, he's licking his fingers off the guy's food.
It's really tough to picture anybody else in that role.
Oh yeah,
after watching Christopher Walken in that.
No one can.
Just how he was. Like, if I'm just going to throw a name out there, just because they're probably similar age, but like if it was like Michael Douglas, like. It's not the same sort of movie. Like, not to say that Michael Douglas isn't a good actor, because he is, but Christopher Walken, just how he delivers his lines, it's just like...
It's more than his lines. It's like mannerisms as he's doing.
Yeah, for whatever reason, even watching the movie, this is after things like Pulp Fiction and True Romance, like, you can kind of picture him as being like an ex-gangster or what... Not gangster, but someone who's done whatever
some
type of
shit in his life.
I don't know Michael Douglas... I don't know if I feel the same way about him.
No, I was just trying to do like for.
I know. I'm just saying.
But it's kind of tough because like you said, it is a Denzel driven movie, and he is phenomenal throughout the whole movie. And obviously, this is why we picked to do a trilogy of Denzel, because he's just so fucking good.
I don't know. Anyone else want to throw something else? Brian seems to be.
I got somebody to throw out.
All right,
there.
Nick, what you got?
Dakota Fanning.
Yeah,
and PETA. Like, just the way that she got him to pull him back to reality. And if you just watch the way she handled some of those scenes, like she's in the scene where she's sitting there with Walken and Denzel when she gives him the St. Jude, just the way that she handled that scene. Like, that was like beyond her age, the way she handled that scene. And just the way that she brought Denzel back to the real world and got him to get past his demons and to realize that it's okay to live your life. You can live. It's good. Mm-hmm. So for me, based on all that stuff, PETA gets the Randy Watson.
Yeah, I can get behind that. Kev, what do you think? Anything else you want?
I thought I was going to have a controversial take, but I literally had the same take Nick had. I was going to go with Dakota Fanning also. So let me put it this way. If we're saying the best character in the film, it's Denzel.
Yes.
Yeah. If we're not going with him, then it's Dakota Fanning next. Child actors or actresses are not really asked to do a lot in a lot of the films. Like, they're mostly in like comedies or maybe even rom-coms or things like that. This is a serious, we just did training day last week with Alonzo's son who doesn't speak English and has nothing to offer to the role.
Right.
Who Brian fucking hates. Anyway, I'm sorry.
Oh, Jesus.
But she actually shows that she actually can act for someone who's really young.
Yeah.
And
she has range.
Yeah.
And it's like you said, it wasn't my favorite scene in the film, but even at the end, her running up the bridge with the tears in her eyes running up to her, like, she's really good in this. If I want to give a different answer, I do actually like the reporter whose name I'm blanking on. It's
Sexy woman.
Yeah, we were talking about it before the podcast. It's the same woman in Total Recall, apparently. Which when I'm watching, I was like, oh, that's the woman from Total Recall.
Oh my goodness! No wonder why I love her so much.
I'm blanking on the actress's name. I'm blanking on the actress's name. Is it Tickerton? Okay, yeah, all right.
Mariana Garcia.
So I liked her also. She's really good. And I even love that first press conference with the police where she's actually pressing was like, so you have a lot of corrupt police, right?
Yeah.
And they're all just like trying to like shoo her away, like we don't want to talk about this. But if I was going to give a different answer, but no, I was going to say Dakota Fanning and see if I was going to get yelled at, but Nick had the same answer. So
no, I honestly, I am
Great
okay with
minds
that.
think alike.
So Dakota Fanning, hands down, I'll go with her. As much as I love Christopher Walken, but I can get behind Dakota Fanning. All right, so you know what? I usually will go further on, but we've been going for a bit. Let's take a break here. We'll come back with some BTS behind the scenes, and then
we still have to do worst, right?
Oh yes, you're correct. I'm sorry, I'm jumping up.
Do you want to do worst first?
No,
or?
Yeah, we're gonna do worst first. So
Okay.
Adrian Balboa Award. I forgot about her.
I think this is going to be like an easy lie.
Yes, unanimous. Is anyone else? Mark Anthony. He's a shit fucking father.
Thank you. Good.
Fucking weasel.
Yeah, no, so
that guy.
I was going to say he's
Piece
one of
of
the ones
shit.
I had. I do have the guy with the bomb up his ass just because he does a terrible job. I don't buy that he's upset about the bomb in his ass and all. He's very matter of fact about a guy who's about to blow up, basically.
It's probably not the first time he had something up his, it's probably the first time he had something up his ass.
Right.
But no, if it wasn't him, I was going to say, if you want to talk about, if you want to talk about the worst character, it's definitely the father who basically sets up the kidnapping for his daughter.
Yeah.
But I remember watching it now, like I said, I saw this movie a long time ago. I was rewatching. I told you I remembered the scenes, basically the torture scenes. I'm a bad person. That's the first thing I think of. So.
No, I'm not gonna lie. It's what I remember from this movie.
But when I was watching
it
again this time, I'm just like, that guy seems very much not impressed. He doesn't seem impressed at all that a bomb is up his ass, ready to go off at all.
That's all you did?
I'm just like, yeah. Is that it?
Yeah,
but no, if that's the one thing I thought. But no, Mark Anthony's is the right choice.
Mark Anthony, shittiest father in the world. And we're gonna take a break at this, ladies and gentlemen. We'll come back with behind the scenes and wrap it up. All right, stay tuned. Creasy, what was your first girlfriend's name? Nonya. Nonya who? Nonya business. Okay, that was horrible. But we are back. We're going to finish up the rest of our Reels, Booze, and Bros of this podcast. So, BTS behind the scenes. I got you. Let's see. In the film's alternate ending, if you guys know this, so they had alternate ending. Creasy, heavily injured, was transported to Daniel's house. In the house, as Daniel loads up his gun and prepares to kill Creasy, the latter aligns his watch and sets a 10-second countdown. After 10 seconds have come, Creasy gives a big smile, blows him up in the house, killing him and Daniel, everyone else in there. So there's that revenge thing you kind of wanted, Kev. I think you said it earlier.
No, I'm just laughing because I imagine he probably has that C4 stuck up his ass. Then probably. I didn't know that actually. But.
I would do it. So fuck him. So all right. Denzel Washington was so impressed with Dakota Fanning's acting that he'd watch her and forget he was in the scene. So hence why she won the Randy Watson Award. I think later on he said she's going on to do many great things because she was such a great actress at this time. So let's go back on to the next one. The kidnapper's first names in the movie, Daniel and his brother Aurelio, I'm horrible at this, are Daniel and Aurelio, God damn it, Arazaminda Lopez, the infamous earlopers. They were the kidnappers or modeled after the infamous Arazaminda gang who made $300 million in ransom in 6 years in Mexico.
Wow.
In Mexico,
Off of kidnapping kids?
Yes, this is actually they kind of based them off there.
Do me a favor, don't edit out how you kept messing it up.
Oh no, I'll keep it in without a doubt. So if I had less beer in me, it'd be a lot easier. But anyway,
No, it wouldn't.
So maybe not. So while filming in Mexico City, the police told Tony Scott that his crew was targeted for kidnapping. Several crew members were robbed at gunpoint. Yeah.
Wow.
Oh yeah. Listen, Mexico ain't nothing.
Thanks, Mexico City. You have a beautiful.
So now we know why the budget was so high.
I throw another thing. A lot of the actors had bodyguards. This is obviously Denzel Washington. What's her face? Richardson and
Dakota Fanning.
Dakota Fanning. They all had bodyguards. So a lot of that budget went towards there. And here's something else. Marlon Brando was the original choice to play Rayburn instead of Christopher Walken.
No.
Yeah, Marlon Brando?
Yeah,
Is he
Marlon
still
Brando.
alive?
You could have said
Now, no. But
No, but I mean, even then, in
Even, yeah.
2004, he's been dead for a while.
I don't know.
Well, they had
exactly.
you could have said
shooting.
Travolta, and I would have bought that a little more. But Marlon Brando.
I do think he needs someone a little bit older than Denzel to play that role. Like Marlon Brando, I don't even know how
a
old he is
mentor in a sense.
like at that point. He's got to be.
Marlon Brando died in 2004, so it's around. Maybe he died, and that's why he didn't get the role. I don't know.
No. Well, the
Listen.
movie came out in 2004, so it was
when it
probably
came out.
They're
shot-
obviously shooting it. Maybe
in
he's in poor health
2002,
or whatever.
2003.
Yeah, I don't know
so
what.
like,
I don't know the. But anyway,
Okay, that was it for I got BTS. Anyone got anything else you want to throw out there?
at least it wasn't Clint Eastwood. Thank God.
You hate
Fucking guy
Clint Eastwood.
sucks.
this is dumb, but whatever. I just know Clint Eastwood's busy doing other stuff for it. Do you know what this year is?
Gran Torino.
$1 Million Baby.
Ah.
So just that's I just popped.
Never watched.
But I'm just
I
saying.
wasn't concerned
I'm just
with
saying.
So he's
I'm glad it's on
busy
him.
doing other things.
Good for him.
The one thing I was going to say for BTS is there were two things. One was that the novel was set in Italy, apparently. I didn't
Yes.
read the novel. But I know the 1983 or 1987 film.
87.
There was a previous. It was 87. The previous film that takes place in Italy also. The reason why they changed it to in 2004 to Mexico is they literally said there's like kidnapping isn't a big deal in Italy apparently anymore.
No, it had to be a period piece at the time if they wanted to do it. So they had to bring it back to.
So they would have had
back
to go
the 80s.
okay, yeah.
So is that
it
why
would've
they
been
had a
much of-
random Italian guy as like the chief, the
Oh,
one,
the actor, yeah,
right?
he's Italian, yeah.
And he says that he's from Italy,
Interpol.
so it was
Yeah,
like,
he
why
says
the
he's from Interpol,
right?
yeah.
So why it's like, what is this guy
Maybe.
in this movie for?
Maybe they just kept him on. Just
so,
red
but like,
shirts.
yeah, so that's what, because the kidnappings in Mexico were huge, what I stated earlier. And I want to say also the fact, actually, I forgot what I was about to say. All right, anyway, Kevin, go ahead.
Just one other thing. So we said when we first started, I hadn't seen this movie in a long time, and while I was watching it, I was interested in Denzel interacting with the St. Jude necklace the entire time. And they do mention that he's the patron saint of lost souls, or what's
Right.
What's
Yep.
the
That's
name?
exactly it. Saint Jude is the patron saint of lost souls.
I just want to make sure I have the exact thing because it basically played into what I was. Yeah,
Yes.
the patron saint of lost causes. So when I was looking at it, I was kind of interested why that. I was like, that necklace that he keeps playing with that she gave to him was important for whatever reason. Like, why is that necessarily the case? And I don't know how it plays and everything else. If it was intentional, I feel like it probably had to have been. But St. Jude is also one of the apostles of Jesus also. And whenever he's basically depicted in art, he usually has flames around his head also. So I wonder if that plays into the... I mean, we think man on fire. We think man who's pissed off, basically, willing to do whatever.
Yeah.
But only because that necklace is obviously important. He's holding it in the car in the last scene as well. I wonder if that whole St. Jude, the patron saint of lost causes, is playing into that part about being a man on fire, basically, and how it plays into his character. So, like I said, I don't have a specific answer to that. I was just thinking about it when I looked at it. But
Okay, very
You
interesting.
deep
I got that.
motherfucker.
I have
That could make
I have
a lot of sense, though.
I have a lot of free time.
After you
I have
explaining
nothing else
it,
to do.
explaining
And
it that,
you're, an
explaining
English
it that way,
professor, you know.
I could agree with you.
I'm fucking sold. Anyone else? I don't give a shit what you say. I'm sold. That's exactly what it means. I looked it up. No, I didn't, but I'm sold. All right, I think that's it for little BTS. And now let's move on to our favorite question here at Reels, Booze, and Bros. Can The Rock make this movie better? Anyone want to throw it out there? Can we throw The Rock in here? What do you think?
So I hate to say this because I absolutely love Christopher Walken, but if there was any part where I could see pulling him in, and it doesn't make sense because of the age thing, but in that role as as that guy with the lines that he had and the expressions and things like that. That's, for me, when I was watching this movie and asking myself where could The Rock possibly fit in, that's what I was drawn to.
My answer is no. Because realistically, the only role that he could play in the movie is Denzel.
No.
But that he
not even a thought.
You're not even letting me finish.
No, because it's not even a thought.
I'm just going to jump in. Like, I know you guys appreciated my answers that were more comedic the last couple of podcasts. I couldn't think of an answer for The Rock. The one thing I thought was, it's 2004. If he did Denzel's role, I didn't go as far as Brian. I don't think it would necessarily work, but that's the only thing I could really think of.
Yeah, I don't think it works. I'm just saying he's not the supporting person in this movie. Like, he would have to be the star. Can he pull his role off like Denzel did? Absolutely not. Like, don't get me wrong, I love The Rock, but he's not going to be able to give you the meaning behind all that sort of stuff, and especially in that time frame where, you know, he's not the actor that he is now, you know. So my thing is, maybe now he has maybe a shot,
no,
but still not a great shot.
Nope.
So, like, the only role he could play would have been Denzel's, but it's not gonna be anything.
I nominated him for Dakota Fanning's role. No, I'm kidding. He's got no. He can't do it. So,
See?
Alonzo's son. You're a fucking dick, Brian. All right. So obviously, The Rock. I'm sorry, we love you, but you're not gonna be able to make this movie any better.
Doesn't make the cut.
You don't make it. Unfortunately. Now, should there be a sequel franchise TV series? Obviously not. I think he's dead. Yeah. I would like to see how badass he was back in the day, but
what if it's a prequel?
A prequel of what? Of when he was in the CIA,
him with Christopher, right? But it's not. I mean, it's not him, obviously.
Yeah.
Playing. It's not Denzel, and it's not Christopher Walken, but it's people playing those roles,
playing them the younger selves
in their youth, and what got all
Michael
those
B.
things.
Jordan and Tom Hardy,
the counterintelligence, right? Whatever, yeah, whatever.
I can see Michael B. Jordan.
Sure, that works.
Tom Hardy as Christopher Walken? I don't think so.
He's a younger Christopher Walken, though.
Yeah.
So
what? You think so?
It's the movies. We can do whatever we want. I have to defend my random choices I pulled out of thin air.
Yeah, it was fucking very random, because Michael B. Jordan's hot right now. But other than that,
the Michael B. Jordan one, I'm not arguing.
We didn't mention it last week.
When you said Tom Hardy is basically Christopher Walken, that's what threw me off.
Yeah. No,
we were talking about like a possible like trying to do any sort of prequel to Training Day. If you're going, they are making. I don't know what they're doing for casting, but we're talking about Training Day, but whatever. But if they were doing the prequel, I could see Michael B. Jordan being a young Alonzo, and he could be a young.
I could see that.
He could be a young Creasy in this movie too. So
okay, I can see that. I don't know.
He makes the most sense.
But other than that, you're right. I can't see anything.
No. Okay.
The prequel, and I'd be interested in that.
I would, but I still
how
know
crazy
how
Michael
it's
B.
gonna
Jordan
be
can get.
Yeah. All right. Anything with Michael B. Jordan this time? He's hot. He's good. I'll agree with that. So let's wrap it up with our final thoughts. I'll go with you, Brian. What do you think? Final thoughts?
Ooh, hit me first. I thought you were going to go continue with the Nick.
No. We're gonna.
I've let off enough tonight.
Oh, okay. So I will say. Listen, this is once again like we've been saying the whole entire time. Like, this is such a sleeper movie where I can't even remember. Like, obviously it's many years ago when this took place, but like the hype behind this movie, at least like when you were watching Training Day, there was some sort of hype like behind like promos and stuff like that. Like, I don't remember seeing like previews for this for like, hey, go out and watch this movie. Man on Fire. Obviously it did like 130 million worldwide. That's at that time frame, that's pretty significant. So, like Denzel after winning an Oscar, and he's kind of not the same role, but a little similar,
But he's that role of somebody that you love and hate. Right?
Yeah, but no, I mean,
like he plays a guy that you want to have a beer with and a motherfucker like nobody else.
Yeah, but this movie, I don't think I didn't hate him in this movie. Like in Training Day, there's points where you're like, I fucking hate this guy, but that's his brilliance in the movie. And this whole time, like, he is fantastic in this movie where he's just calm, cool, and calculated, and always just picking his shots. Like, I know what I'm gonna do. I'm not gonna show you. I'm not gonna show my cards, but I'm gonna fuck you up, and it's gonna end bad for all you guys. You know, because once I get this stuff going, like, you're all done. So I think he was great. Dakota Fanning, like you mentioned earlier, like how good she was being. What is she? 7, 8 years old at the time? I don't know.
Older than that.
She's older than that.
9.5. I have no
either
idea.
way.
I'm just guessing.
Either way, for
preteen.
Yeah, 12 years old and under. Like, she to hold your chops against Denzel like that, how she did, like, that's phenomenal. So.
Oh shit, I'm wrong. She's 10 years old. Yeah. All right.
Okay, so
I thought she was
okay.
older.
Got it.
So yeah, like, it's great.
Ryan,
and
that's you?
then fuck you, Mark Anthony.
All right, wrap it up with that. So, Kev, what you got?
I like Brian said, this is a movie that when it came out, didn't hear of it, didn't think anything about it, knew nothing about it until later. I think it wasn't until The Equalizer came out years later where people said it was going to be a movie like Man on Fire, and I'm like, well, I haven't seen Man on Fire.
And Equalizer's like
Really?
10 years later. Easy.
I definitely
It's in
remember seeing
2000,
Man
like-
on Fire. If it wasn't in the theater, I definitely caught it at a Blockbuster.
I think, well, The Equalizer is like 2014 or 15, I think.
So, yeah, 10 years
it's
later.
It's got to be at least 10 years later if I have the dates right. Like I said, I went back and watched it then and then rewatched it obviously for this. And like I said, when you're first watching it, you're like, oh, all right, it's when you're first watching it, it's more of a drama film at the start. You can tell, you know if people are comparing it to what's going on in The Equalizer, you know it's going to pick up action-wise eventually. And you can see that happen here. And this movie it's definitely over the top in those action sequences toward the end. You can see how badass of a person that Denzel is in those scenes where he's not just in those. I'm trying to think of the interrogation terrorist, whatever you want to call them. I'm blanking on the word all of a sudden. Nick, don't say anything. Anyway, but you see that there, and then later on, you can see that there's also like a purpose to what he's doing. And it's an interesting role from how he can go from someone who's like cold and calculated, smart, knows what he's doing, but vicious the entire time as well. And it's like I said, it's a great film. It's a great role for him, and it's just interesting to watch. So yeah, I don't have too much more to say other than that.
Okay, got it. Well said. So Nick, let's wrap it up with you.
So all I'm going to say is Denzel, Dakota Fanning, Christopher Walken, Mark Anthony,
bitch,
Mickey Rourke.
Mickey Rourke.
You know what? Regardless of what you think of them in these roles or other, like, these are the names of the people in this movie. This is an all-star lineup, and to me, it delivered. It delivered on the people. You get movies that have people like this in it. It's not always going to deliver like Man on Fire did, right?
No, I agree with you, and I feel like we're kind of we're not avoiding, but we're getting away from the Mickey Rourke character because, like, don't get me wrong, like, every time Mickey Rourke is on screen, I want to punch him in the fucking face. You could just tell, like, this guy is just a fucking sleazeball.
So if Mark Anthony wasn't in this, if that role wasn't there,
yeah, like
it would go to Mickey Rourke's character, right?
Like just those two alone.
If he wasn't such a scumbag father,
yeah,
and maybe Mickey Rourke worked alone, and he didn't include.
You would
Mark
give it
Anthony.
a scumbag lawyer who tells him hire the worst bodyguard possible.
Right.
Don't even have to keep him that long. You just need 60 days. You'll collect the insurance
exactly.
anyway.
Yeah, exactly.
So like that, but that's the thing. He's the father.
Right.
And that is unforgivable.
100%.
And that's why I will always lean. But Mark Anthony just looks like a weasel. But either way, but we're getting but fucking Mickey Rourke, same thing. Like, you look at him and he's got like these like big overpriced suits sort of thing, and he's got like the earrings in. I'm like, you're a fucking lawyer, bro. Like, come on.
We don't need no Superman.
Yeah, exactly. like this fucking guy. Like,
all right,
he's just missing a toothpick.
But exactly.
All right, so we're gonna reel it in.
But really, like, that to me, You go into a movie with that and you got all these people. It doesn't always deliver, and this movie delivered. It was a fantastic movie. It got dark. It had dark moments, but it was about a guy. It was something that everyone could relate to. It was somebody with demons in their past who found a reason to find redemption, right? We can all relate to that. Maybe not on the level that he was on, but we can all relate to that. So, just a great movie. That's what I gotta say. Great.
Yeah, I think streaming has definitely helped this movie out more so. Because like you said, it did a pretty solid number. Like what we were saying, like 130 million worldwide in 2004 is big number.
It made money for the studio.
We know he didn't see it anytime near when it came out. When did you guys see it?
I'm going to tell you, probably my first time seeing it was probably like 2010.
Really?
Yeah, I'm saying 2000.
It was at least 5 years after the movie.
So
I don't remember. So
I definitely, like, if it wasn't in the theater,
I've only seen it like three times.
I definitely saw it at Blockbuster. Like, that's how long ago that I saw it.
bring it on in. I'll bring it in with us, guys. That's why I call this movie a sleeper, because I don't remember the hype as most movies get on this. And then I saw it not in the theater, but either on DVD, VHS at the time, because that was still around. And I realized, holy shit, this movie is fucking so good. Why did I know about this? Hence, it's a sleeper movie. That's why it's so good. You need Act 1 and 2 to complete 3. Then once Act 3 comes in with all the hardcore action, you realize Act 1 and 2 is so important of the of the character development. That's what I got. Love this movie. So let's close this podcast out. We're going to keep it with Denzel Washington, and this is the final movie of the trilogy of Denzel Washington. We're going to end it with Equalizer. As Kevin brought up earlier, we'll see how Equalizer was kind of compared to this movie, Man on Fire.
Haven't seen this one yet.
Oh, it's so good.
Truth be told.
Wow.
I haven't seen The Equalizer yet.
Okay, you are in for a treat. I've seen it a couple of times. Very, very good. I don't know how it compares, but you know what? It's been a while since I've seen Man on Fire. So Equalizer's next. And that's all we got for this podcast. Once again, check us out, reelsboozebros.com. If you have anything else you want to see, you can email us. Any questions, check out our Twitter. All that's there, reelsboozebros.com. And that's it for us, ladies and gentlemen. Cheers.